If your concept is really, really cool, because the government want more people to
go into business.
In different ways. You have to pay somebody to write a very good concept for you, because there are business specialists and all these things that do it full time. They just you tell them your idea, they put your idea into paper and write everything and give you. You pay money with stamp and everything. Take this thing to the bank. The future, there's going to be a lot of people looking for a job, and you have few companies. You have China box all over the place. And I know some strategic place here in Berlin where you can put box, and like jollof rice they will be producing the jollof rice in the kitchen, bringing it to that place. I have to say one thing. People always think that we're doing competition with each other. We don't do competition. The market is so big. I'm still very much open for partnership. Awesome. When somebody comes, there are money to make in the street. People are hungry. Today, people have beautiful kitchen. They don't have time to cook. And if you give quality and very nice thing, boom, what is that? You may not go shopping today for clothes and shoes, but you might have drunk something, you might have eaten something. I personally heard about you just now saying he's sending jollof rice in the house.
Bro, it's your boy B to the U to the K to the K to the Y to the Y to the... Oh,
that's what's up. Okay. Hi guys, what's good? Welcome back to Onlyfacts. Glad to be here again. As usual, how you guys doing? What's good? What's up? How's life? What's popping? It's been quite a day today now, Toby.
Yeah,
it's been quite a day, but we're pushing, we're giving our best.
Actually better than other days. I don't know.
I think so, right? So yeah. So we just had like an interesting shoot. So that was a good one. So you guys you should look forward to that. Today we're back with a new guest, new topic, right? And we are talking about something that has to do with people who are living in Germany today, right? So if you've ever lived here and wondered how do you navigate the, how do you say now, like business landscape, right? Starting a business, entrepreneurial, landscape in Germany. So we have someone here today who has built a successful business and who's going to be sharing some thoughts with us on that. Are you excited?
Yeah, drum roll!
Say drum roll! We have with us today Mr. Frank. That's Mr. Frank.
Thank you very much.
Frank from Pan Africa.
Right? So if you've ever heard of Pan Africa, which I know you've heard of.
Many people in Berlin, if you live in Berlin, definitely you should have heard of Pan Africa.
This is the brain behind
that's the CEO of Pan Africa in Berlin. Pan Africa is the restaurant. Why am I even trying to do the intro? So I think I should let you do the intro by yourself.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, like, who are you, and like, what is this business that you're doing? Like, just whatever it is you. But most importantly for me is to tell the viewers, like, what is Pan Africa?
It's me, Frank Anyangbe. The CEO Pan Africa Catering, and then also Pan Africa Restaurant here in Berlin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, did you bring food for us?
Well, actually, I brought glasses, not jollof rice.
Are we gonna hit glass?
When you were coming here, you should have thought about us.
I talked about it. I know everybody is shining, so I know glasses like diamond. So everybody, let me shiny stuff.
Mr. Frank has promised us some food towards the end of the season, right?
Course,
so I think we're gonna do something. It's gonna bring us.
There's gonna be swallow.
Hey.
There's gonna be swallow.
It's gonna bring us some nice
soup, okra,
nice one.
Name it. Peaceful jollof rice. But ministers, it's gonna be it's not gonna be there. So don't ask me which jollof rice.
Oh my God. Nice one. It's all about food here. Okay, but today we're not just talking about food. Don't worry. So I'm curious. Like, apart from the restaurant, so your restaurant Pan Africa Berlin is an African cuisine, right? So you also do have like this buffet that you do here in Berlin. As far as I know, I think it's the first and probably only, as far as I know, right, African buffet, all you can eat buffet in Berlin. So I've usually attended like some of this like Chinese and, like all you can eat and you just go there, eat anything. And the first time I heard that it was like an African,
you were like,
all you can eat, I'm saying, say that again.
You were like,
so where I can eat everything, swallow, jollof, anything. I said, okay. Interesting. So I came there actually, right? So and over time, I mean, of course, we've got to know each other through like multiple encounters. But I think it's quite an interesting thing what you're running there.
Really, thank you.
So but I'm curious. So are there other things you do outside of the food business? So I'm just curious in general. Like, so when it comes to this like small business topic, right, in Germany, maybe what is the history even to it? I'm asking like multiple questions at once. So let's just take it
so first
as you wish. So first is like, do you do other things, right? Number one. And then number two is like, I would want to know like, how did you, like, what was the beginning point for you, right? So
how did you like bring out this dream?
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Interesting, Yeah. I started many years ago because when I moved to Berlin, I was living in Potsdam. When I came to Berlin, nice. I said, wow.
Which was how many years ago, if I may ask?
That was talking about, I had started this business almost 14 years ago.
Okay.
Wow.
The restaurant has been 10 years in business.
Nice.
While the catering, I started the catering before the restaurant.
Nice.
So totally 14 years.
And you've lived in Germany for how long?
I've lived in Germany for 23 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Times move very fast.
This is huge.
Like I said, when I came to Berlin, I fell in love with Berlin. I said, oh, I'm going to make my money here. Because the population is here. The market is here. And if you have the population, then the money is there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. After this, my cooking profession, I worked a bit in different university canteen. I worked in Humboldt. And so if you go to Humboldt today, you still see my picture is still there. People still send me the picture as the only black guy, as a cook there, still there. But when I left there, I wanted to do something different. So I checked the whole community. I want to do something different. So this is how I brought the idea of Pan-Africa. I didn't say because I'm in Nigeria, so it's just going to be Ole Jollof and
Smart.
So I came in and, of course, beginning was not really easy. But suddenly, everything went boom, So I decided, okay, I also did... After that, I did Carnival de Couture. That was just my first time there. And after that, I got my first restaurant. When I got my first restaurant, I don't know, I think it was around World Cup or there was something football match going on that period. And a football team in the southern or the western part of Germany came to Berlin. They booked all my restaurant for days. So the press was there. The newspaper was there. The television was there. And that was like the turning point. And those people, they were like, oh, they've not seen something like this apart from spaghetti, doner, pizza, and so something different. So this is how, from there, that restaurant was a small restaurant, like 50 capacity. And then there was no space anymore. So I decided to get something really grow, So apart from restaurant business, there's other business, there's a lot. I really want more Africans, more young people to come into entrepreneur because working is good, and to like pay bills, do things, keep yourself in order, but we always have to try. I've gotten some people that came from London, they want to come to Berlin because there's no space anymore in London. And most of the things there in London, it's not even here. So it's like in Berlin, we still have a lot of space. We have a lot of idea to be done, things to be done. But, so I will always encourage people to do that. And that is it.
Go for it.
You failed to answer maybe one of his questions, which is, do you have another business aside from the food business that you do? Are there other things that you put your hand into?
Yeah, there are other different business I put my hand into. There are a lot, which I do, and then which I'm also planning to do. Still going on.
Okay.
But when it comes to like, how do you say, like small business in general, like the restaurant thing is something you have done at least for the longest, you can say.
Restaurant, the catering.
Catering you've done. So I think I keep mixing it up. There's difference between catering and restaurant.
There's Pan-African catering, there's Pan-African restaurant.
So catering is like you're delivering like food,
exactly. Work with the ministry, with the embassies, with private people, different organizations, and up to yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
We also deliver, so with catering, it's always there. The last 2 weeks we were in Hakave, and it's always coming. There's a lot of catering.
Wow.
So catering, after 4 years, the restaurant business, and there are other things. That's the beginning was the catering, and then from there, the door just opened. Different ideas always come in.
So I picked up something from what you said, and you said in the beginning it was quite difficult. So what were like the difficulties you experienced at the beginning of starting this restaurant?
Exactly. I always I tell people, thank God. My idea right now is because of the business. If somebody need to ask question, I will be there. Because at the beginning, there was nobody to tell me how, the steps I'm going to take. And so I left my full-time job and went to a self-employed. So at the beginning, it was not easy with the health insurance.
Yeah.
Because when I left my full-time job and started my free
like a freelancer,
like a freelancer, and then it's a full-time. So then you have the insurance, you have the half-leash, you have to do a lot of insurance. That's at the beginning was really, really difficult. But if somebody would have been there to tell me, hey, you know what, don't do it like that, because you have your full-time job, you can do part-time slowly. And then when you progressing, then you can leave your full-time job and continue your free.
Just transition into the business.
So that's beginning was really difficult, because I just jumped and leave this and then started something. That's it. That's what.
So you advise like anyone that wants to go into business now should like go through the part-time route with their full-time. Maybe they
which is doing on the side.
Do it on the side before you just jump into it.
That's what I always think, because you have bills to pay. You don't just leave your full-time job and then says, okay, I want to do this. Because at the beginning, it's really, really, it's not easy with the insurance, the different type of insurance, halfly,
all the things you have to pay.
All the things you have to pay. So this is why you have to like slowly, when you come inside and you see, okay, I think it's profitable, then you can slowly, you leave your full-time job and just,
there are some people that are really like convinced that their business idea is very profitable, and they actually just, they will advise you to, like, if you have a dream, go for it. There's no need for you to like be in between. So like I have this particular dream, and my 9 to 5 is disturbing me. So am I meant to still continue the 9 to 5? Can't I just like, if I have somebody to advise me, these are the basic insurance, or these are the way to go, I necessarily don't have to do the part-time.
Yeah, you are right. The reason why I talked about that was that when I started my business, it was absolutely from €0. If you have money to invest from the beginning, because the beginning, if you write an application to the bank or your concept to the bank is not even ready to honor everything, because the bank sees every beginner as a failure. They are not ready. So if you have money to invest, you don't have to go for your 9 to 5 job. But if you say, okay, you are that type that believes that the business has to be starting from nowhere and then like that, So if you, like I said, if you have money to invest, okay, you don't need your 9 to 5 job. But if you don't have, then you have to do it that way. And so
sorry.
That's okay.
So when you started this, I'm guessing for food business is different from maybe if I want to be a carpenter or if I want to be an electrician. So like, what were the basic things that was requested from like the government for a food business? But aside that, like, are there things that like bureaucratic work that you had to fulfill to get into this business?
As somebody that is coming into food business, if you're not starting with a restaurant. If you're starting with a restaurant, there are rules how many toilet is going to be in that restaurant, for the disabled and all these things. Then you talk about your red card. which is from the health ministry, all these things, but if at the beginning you're not just going into restaurant business, you still have like to show that red card. And Germany, there's not too much bureaucracy. I'm not really saying that there's bureaucracy, but you have to keep the rules.
Some people
like
would
not just like cooking your food from your house and bring to the public and say those things are like those days is really forbidden. Because normally if you're operating somewhere, every food you prepared, you're supposed to have extra. If somebody comes to say, oh, I ate that food and I'm having running stomach, immediately the government is going to turn to you. Where is this sample of this food? And the food is going to be taken to the lab. But we're so surprised, like today, what is happening. People do things like, if you're close to me, I will tell you, don't do something like that. So the bureaucracy, it was not difficult. I went to the office, which is called the Ordnance Arm. Yeah, that office. You come there. Before you get there, you have to like have a name for your business, and they're giving you a form. You just fill that form. You pay that little fee. And then that's it. In few weeks later, you're getting a permission. If you want to run a restaurant, also the same thing, you make that application and then you're getting a test certificate that allows you to sell alcohol for like 3 months. And then after that, now, before you get that certificate, the health ministry is going to send people to the restaurant. They want to see how many washing basins you have in the kitchen, how many toilets, how clean is that place and everything before they will grant that certificate for you. After the first 3 months, and then you getting unfinishable. Because if you coming into a restaurant, for instance, you can't push the door of a restaurant or of a bar in. You have to draw it out like this. So this government has to watch all these things, which are very useful information. Apart from that, the bureaucracy, when you registered there, in few weeks time, you're getting a letter from the financial office that, okay, in 1 year, you are not allowed to pay tax and all these things. When I started all these things, I think the bureaucracy, we're just saying that because a lot of people say bureaucracy. Of course, Germany is a difficult place. People believe it's a difficult place. You have the bureaucracy. We still like bombing on old system of things here. Not like if you go to other small countries, you see digital distance. So, but I don't think too much, the bureaucracy is really too much.
Okay. So I think kind of like drawing back a little bit, right? So there are a couple of things you mentioned about like going to a bank, for example. I would like to like dive a bit deeper into that. But even before that, right? So I'm trying to see like what are some of the most common, how do you say, like relatable. So I don't know many people right now who are like looking to not looking, but like able to open a restaurant as we are speaking right now, right? I don't know. I mean, I've learned like at least I know like a couple of people who have like ideas, so like they would love to do something like that. But I think I know many people who are doing, for example, like delivering food, doing like this kind of how do you say, like we call them food vendors, right? People can order food from them, that sort of thing. If someone is doing that and they're thinking of like making it bigger and expanding it, right? So I would like to come from that perspective, right? So which is, I cook food for my friends. They order from me once in a while, like, I don't know, jollof rice over the weekend and stuff like this. But I'm seeing that there's some potential in this stuff. People like my food and they're giving me good feedback, right? Like how would you, if you were to walk that process back today now, with all the knowledge that you have today, like how would you take it from that point?
During Corona time, I saw an advertisement, a lady, not from Berlin, and, she sells food online. I personally, I was like, okay, let me call this person. And I called her, asked her, who are you? What is it? She doesn't have any type of idea. They brought her to Germany, her husband. And then suddenly she starts selling food, which is totally, I think, the country is against such thing. If you want to do such thing, you have to do everything officially. If you know that you don't have money to invest. You started by like cooking for friends. And so, of course, which is really good. When I started my catering those days, I was a gospel singer. The very first contract I got was from my gospel band.
Interesting.
I prepared that food. I did not prepare it at home.
I don't know you single, but that's new information.
I'm a gospel and a classic and African music singer.
Tell me about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then I got the first booked from somebody in my gospel band, which I did. I rented a kitchen, and then that same party that day, a lady came to me and said, "Where are you the one that cooked these things?" Oh, will you like to cook for my birthday? So this is how this name started going, which is also almost like what you just said now. But it's always nice to do it officially so that you don't think your village people is running after you when doing things wrong, So,
And officially in this case means that what now? So are you advising that, this kind of person, if they want to like make it bigger, right? So you're saying, should they go and officially register the business?
Yeah, they will register the business. Like it can also be mini. That's what I was talking about. Like a mini, because if you're living here, you have almost 12 hours to work in a day. Whether you're a student, you're going to school 8 hours, 4 hours, you can still do somewhere. Whether you're learning Dutch, you're doing 4 hours, you can still work 8 hours.
Whether you have everything job, together.
Everything will be together.
Like maximum, you're alled to be
you understand?
engaged.
So whatever you are doing, you can still like go and use part-time, register that part-time so that, because we always have to see the consequence. Somebody ate that thing. Somebody is coming to complain. And in some cases, some people don't even come to you to complain. They call the health ministry and say, I ate this thing. So it's just about, it's good for you. So to really do this thing officially, not to spoil your name.
Yeah.
So that is why I will advise that person, just start with.
But what if I want to mix this with my full time? I just want to do it by the side and like still leave my full time. Is it allowed to do something like that?
That's what we just said now. That's what I just said.
So which is like a mini, to now be the extra hours you're spending like per day on that activity.
You have
outside of your full-time job.
The financial office will write you that there is like, let's assume you can 70,000 euro in a year. It will be tax-free. Or when you register this business, because it's mini, this is the type of money or you pay, or like 1 year, it's like tax-free. So these are all opportunity.
But then I have to get a kitchen for a food business.
Yeah, of course, you have to get a kitchen. You're not supposed to cook in your house. That is something that you want to give to a third party. That is not even related to you. You are not even supposed to do it in your house.
Or at least your house needs to be vetted. Like if you have I don't know if that's the case. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Like if you're using your house as the kitchen, which is like place of business, then they probably need to come there to still vet.
They don't do that. They don't even do that. It's against the law. It's against the law. That is why you see some people that like sell food in the street market. They always run to people that have restaurant. Oh, please, can I tell them that I'm cooking in your restaurant? You understand? They will not tell you. But they always go to people that have restaurants and say, please, because they always come to control.
Okay.
I see. Where do you cook this food? You bringing food here to this market every day, every week. Where do you cook this food?
Okay.
They'll give you time. They'll give you time. This is why these people, they start running head-to-scatter, try to call you and say, oh, please, I need your help, blah, 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 blah. So these are all information that if you just clear everything right from time, this stress will not come. And the ordinary Sam is just coming to you in any way you delivering food and say, okay, how did you get here? Say, look, I'm cooking my food here in this restaurant. They'll just take the address. They will not tell you. They will go to that restaurant and confirm if that person is really cooking this food here.
Yeah.
So it's also good for you in the other way.
Right. There's also what they call pop-up kitchens, right? I think so, where like you can like rent out a space and different people can just like be cooking their things there.
It's about
so that's like an option for people, for example.
Yeah, you're right. So. When you see maybe the price of kitchen is too much, a lot of people can come together and say, okay, this price of kitchen is 3,000 or 4,000 euro in a month. Let's share it. And then you have your, like the co-working space we have today was not there before. So it's also like the kitchen is also equivalent.
Like that.
You have your space there. You have your space there, and then it goes smoothly. So
there was a question you asked him, and I don't know, maybe you finished it. It was more about finances. So the loan from the bank. So how was it like the step to take when you have to to this.
So I'm going to say that, I mean, so of course, like your expertise is on like this food area.
Yeah.
So I'll try and like expand it a little bit now, right? So on this, context of generally, right?
Yeah.
So,
small businesses.
So exactly. So people who are also looking to do other, kinds of businesses, right? You mentioned about going to the bank, right? I would even say like I didn't know like this is like a possibility for me, right?
Yes, it's a possibility.
So what does that look like? Like if, for example, I'm looking to start something like, is it like just walk to the bank, right? Do I need to have like started the thing, like tested it a little bit and then to say, okay, this is what I am doing? Or can I just have like on paper, this is the idea, and they'll give me money to go and do the stuff?
So add to his point, what kind of residence do you have to have?
True, like permits as well.
Yeah,
so if you, I don't know how familiar you are with all like the different permits. So if you're like job seeker visa and all those kind of things, but
as far as I know, residence is not important apart from like if you're working or you're having student resident on all these things. I don't think, today, I was talking to somebody, you have IBB Bank, you have KFA Bank. These are credit bank, microfinance credit bank that the government puts the money there. If your concept is bright and intelligent, they release the money for you. I met a guy that came to my restaurant a few weeks ago. We were talking. He just came from one of this country. He's a student here. Yeah, with this guy, the family has a honey business there in his country. So he came here immediately. He met me. I told him, hey, do something, and he wrote an application to the bank. The concept, everything, shows everything. The bank volunteered to give him money. But I told him, is this money? I mean, he was talking about that he's starting with 5K. I said, 5K, you're not even supposed to go to the bank. You're talking about 5 million, 1 million, 300, 800,000. That's
now we're talking.
Now we're talking. With this money, you can like just meet individuals, they'll give you that money, then it's like with interest and so. So my reasons of saying this is like the bank, if your concept is really, really cool, because the government want more people to
go into business
in different way, so that is it. I don't think your statutes matters anything, but then you have to pay somebody to write a very good concept for you, because there are business specialists and all these things that do it full time. They just you tell them your idea, they put your idea into paper and write everything and give you pay money with stamp and everything, take this thing to the bank. If your local bank is even saying, then call bank like EBB or KFA. KFA also walk through your bank, so because you're getting this money through your bank, you get this KFA.
Okay, I'm curious. When you started also, or like moving forward, like how was the language barrier for you? Did you need a translator, or how did you understand like the basic, or did you already know German from the beginning?
I love Germany, this was not a barrier as at the beginning at all, because officially now it's coming to law right now. The second language in Germany is going to be English. So the English is always there. It's just like when you meet individuals, they just want to see your German ski, or like if you in foreign office, if you have appointment, they say, "Sie müssen Deutsch reden. Ich verstehe kein English." Yeah. Why? You have this pressure because, okay, you came as a student, then you have to show us that you know how to speak German. Yeah. So those things were not there. For me, it was, I just look over all these things, and I think it was not a barrier for me. Even today, it's also not a barrier. I can give example of recent ones, these guys that are just coming in, they are guys that doesn't know what is going German and all these things, so that's it.
Lesson to learn is that the language shouldn't be a barrier. You can go into the
from stopping you to
I always see that so many people always think it's a barrier, but then it's like you want to do something, you try putting effort, and suddenly you are also thinking, oh, do you think I can make it? And then you're already like killing that image, that zeal that wants you to do this thing.
Self-doubt.
That's self-doubt, so I don't think language is supposed to be a barrier, There's
how many caterings do you think you've delivered over the last 14 years?
It's too much.
Wow.
If you check my website, I just put some few important. All the catering was really important, but I didn't put anything there. Like the Katz Ohage he turns 40 years. He's the owner of Katz Ohage. Maybe in summer you see there are some strawberry boxes all over the place. It's red.
Yeah.
Belongs to a 40 years old guy that just turns 40. Say trillionaire, and then he called me for catering in middle of the night, and I've worked for Sparkasi, I've worked for a lot of.
This is really interesting.
A lot, when you display your food, people don't see your color. They just see what is coming out of you.
They enjoy the food.
What you have to present. That is what people are after. So
let's dive deeper a bit into that. So like in general, like what are some of the things that you think has helped you to be able to get some of these clients, right? So I don't know, like, are you a salesperson yourself? Do you think like you're someone who can sell yourself a lot?
Yeah, I like.
Is it more from like recommendations? Like what has really helped when it comes to like, because the kind of clients you're mentioning,
I have big clients.
And for me, even sometimes it's surprising because I've seen you cater some events that I've attended, but even when you're talking of Sparkasi, you're talking of like these are, and these guys are not giving you, they are not writing you 200 euro. These are not small.
But the thing,
right? So I'm curious to know that, what are some of the strategies that has helped when it comes to like
marketing,
expanding, sales, and landing some of these deals.
The thing is that since these years, I've never really done a serious advertisement. I don't. I want to. It's not like, but the mouth propaganda. Somebody eats, somebody book you, and you came. I remember when I started at the beginning, people have events by 4:00. They will tell me they have event. The event starts by 2:00. I say, okay. And then suddenly 12:00, I'm there. And they ask me,
now be like,
why are you so early? I say, yeah, you told me you need your food by 2. And I also need time to display this food on the table. So this is why I came. And actually it's 2:00. Yeah, but you told me, actually it's 4:00. But you told me 2:00. So all these things really helped me. Because if you know what you want, if you know what you want to do, just do it and do the best out of it. So that's it.
So you're saying being, what's the word I can use to describe that now?
I don't know.
I would say like diligent, but this is not even just diligence now, right? This is more like, someone tells you like this thing should be delivered by 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And you are showing up at 2. You're even showing up 2 hours earlier than that, right? And this is something I think in business, like even many of us, like
it's very
like important. Sorry to say Africans, like maybe some other nationalities also have. We call it African time. Right. Being reliable, right, is the word I think, right? So which is like delivering things based on when someone is telling you that and you're breaking like many of those stereotypes.
Very important.
And this is, I think, something that is very, very key, right? To many people. I know Toby's
I should learn from this
because she has her own small business.
Learn from this actually.
Jessica.
That timing is very...
It's very important,
And in this business environment, especially, because knowing like, you're not in Nigeria, you're in Germany. And having the kind of clients that you're having, like, because, I mean, like, less like how many percent of Africans make up people in Germany, right? If you want to run a profitable, I mean, it doesn't mean that if you're doing some targeted towards Africans, it's not profitable. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to like access like a bigger market, you need to target people who are non-Africans, right? And what that means is your clients, the banks, and all of these people, these are not people who understand African time. Right?
No,
and having that like level of dedication. I think I came to the
market at the right time. The door is still very much open. It's still very much open. Berlin is just growing. After the Brexit, most of the company they moves here to Frankfurt and so Berlin, there's still space in Berlin. If you book for catering, it's 2 things. It's either the catering come earlier or they come late. So you will not even like to bring a client. Like I said, I'm into show business. I like singing. I can entertain people. When I talk, people clap. I introduce my food. Up to yesterday, the caveman was in the restaurant yesterday.
Nice.
I was day before yesterday. Yesterday was the concept, Yeah. So I was asked to introduce. I introduced people with clapping. I like those show things. It's in me. But beside that, I've not really done advertisement for Pan Africa. It's just this mouth propaganda. People mouth to mouth. Go and try it. Yesterday I was in a company close to Natua Kunde Museum.
Okay.
We brought lunch, and suddenly in the evening they wrote and said, "Wow, what such a food is this?" We got the information from our new staff. He told us to try that food. Now they requested for lunch for just 30 people. Now they called and said, "Please, we would like you to cater for our 150 people."
Wow.
It's just because, that punctuality, bam. They told us they were going to start by 4. We went there, arranged the food, just a small catering. So this is the chances there. We should just try all these things. These are business strategy, because the people have seen pizza, like we said, they've seen spaghetti, they've seen all type of food, but African food is it's really there right now.
Yeah, so like when you're diligent to following a man that is diligent to walk before kings.
That's what the Bible says, right? So interesting stuff, right? I'm curious. Have you ever considered quitting in this stuff since you started? Have there been days where you woke up and you're like, okay, I think today's the day that I need to?
No, of course, yeah. This is why it's business. I started with catering, from catering to restaurant business. I'm still there's room for other business, but gastronomy business, restaurant business is not what you do forever. It's not what you do. I would just in a short time, I was okay, 10 years now, I've been in business without no problem. I've paid people have worked for me, and so. But one day I was just, I'm out of restaurant business. I'm going to other thing, so of course it's always like that. I started with catering is still there. I came to the restaurant. It's just moving like this. If you have idea of business, you're already you have this business idea. Anything,
so you can easily replicate the.
So you clearly have ideas of business. So what would you recommend for another person that is not into cooking? What would you recommend someone else go into, or I don't know how
to put it differently? So where are some of the areas you're seeing opportunities right now? So you're saying Berlin is this is ripe for for so many business ideas.
If I may understand you, the opportunity is everywhere. If you even working as a cleaner, you can also register a cleaning company. You see a lot of, I don't want to use the word African, working, you see them security in H&M, Zara, and so. You can also go and register your security company. You just go and do a crash course for 6 months. A cleaning company for 6 months course. Uber cars, it's open. You can also do your own. If you have money to buy a car, just go register. You go and do crash course. You're having that certificate of your boss, and then you drive your own car. So everything you have space in everywhere.
So you necessarily don't have to do an house build or something.
You don't have to do. House build is a long process. You want to go into Uber business, having your own Uber company. It's just like you have to go to Toyota and say, okay, this is what I want to do here. It's my crash course. I passed. I have the certificate. I have this money. Can you please? I want to take 2 cars, but I have money to pay for one or half of them. Toyota will give you, and then you get a driver. You drive one yourself. You go in.
Is it that easy, Mr. Frank?
I was going to say that. So let me bring it down. So because for you now, you've experienced, you've seen it all, right? No. For someone like you now, it's super easy to just get into the stuff, right? But let me give you let me paint a scenario for you, right, of a typical an average person, right, who is in a, I don't know, standard job, whatever, and they are thinking of, okay, I want to start something. Even to make it even more, I don't know, let's even say I lost my job. I've been trying to search for a job for the past 6 months. Nothing is working out, right? And right now I'm okay, I think maybe I can use some of my skills, right, to actually create jobs right, for other people, like, where should I, so let's even use this example of this cleaning stuff or this security one, right? Like, where should I start from as where can I start finding all this information? Like, is there some, I don't know, are there some resources, I wonder, even from the government? Is it possible? Like, is it possible to go to, I don't know if, I don't think Agento for Arbeit of us, I don't know, but like to say, okay, I want to start, you know, like I've worked in cleaning for the last 6 months on the part-time, and I want to create my own agency, right?
Yeah.
Is it just as easy as you're saying?
It's very
or
easy.
like what kind of, you know, like, like where can I get that information support? Because I think for so many people, right, like that fear of like, you know, like, how do I start, you know, like kind of crossing that, you know, that I think taking that leap is where many people struggle.
Yeah.
Number 2 is also if you don't have like that support system, right? I mean, that's part of why we are doing this episode right now, because, you know, to also educate people and stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need like this mentorship. You need like someone who has like gone through that process, who can like show you like, hey, go to this place, do that and do that, right? But if you don't have that, right, I wonder, right, if somehow like maybe the government, there's like somewhere you can go as there's an agency that answers some of these questions, right? So where you just go and meet them and they can like put you through, because again, Talk for Arbeit, for example, does that for like seeking for jobs, right? So they even give you a career advisor that will work with you to say, okay, apply for these jobs, whatever. But on the entrepreneurship side, is there anything? Because as far as I know, I'm not, you know, and I also have a startup that I run myself here. Right. And I'm not just, I don't think there are, so, and that's why I'm curious, you know, but running even a startup, a tech, you know, business is even different from even this, you know, I say small businesses, right? And I think there's a lot of power in these small businesses, right? I have met people who, you know, they're even running nursing homes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Africans, you know, and also people from other nationalities, of course, right? Who are doing, and sometimes it's like, how do you, like, that starting point is the problem. Yeah. And also, language barrier is also there. Of course, you say like, not speaking language is, German is not like a big thing. But I think also like so many of the information there in German, so many of the, you know, things you have to do, right? So for me, it's just, again, to summarize this question, it's a long one, is where do I get the support? I need support as a person to start. Like, I need to know, like, you know, where. Or should I just come and meet you? Everybody can come and meet you.
You know, this is what we've been lacking.
Okay.
I was working with different embassies before, you know, SADC when they started. And then from SADC Day, they now turn it to African Day. I could remember I spoke to then Nigerian ambassadors and also this community, like building a community, this information center. That's what we're really lacking. So everybody's having it. Again, Talk for Arbeit tells you, they encourage you. After 1 year, if you lose your job, minimum, you lose your job, they'll put you in jobs and Arbeit
Arbeit
Losgeld 1.
It's 1 now, right?
Yeah. And then they will be looking for a job for you, or if there is any opportunity, you say there's something you want to do, depends on your age. Depends on your age. You have Osbidon, you have Vital Bidon, you have Maßnahme 6 months, 8 months, and all these things. But like you said, the entrepreneur part of it, they are not ready to. That is not their job, because entrepreneur is a very difficult and a hard thing. But if you make it, you make it. So actually, we're supposed to have somebody that is leading us through all those things. Like I told you, it's not because I'm still telling you these things are very, you know, information is very rich. Information. Who is going to pass that information is very rich. When you get that information, why should you say today your purse is empty, you don't have anything in your pocket? Yeah. So if you always talk about language barrier, and so you go to some places that, okay, these things are in German language, and so you have your translator.
Google Translate.
These things are easy today. All this internet make things so easy today. You know, so we should try. I personally, I'm advising people now. It's nice to go into entrepreneur now. You can't imagine in 10, 15 years in Germany, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Because with this new visa policy from next month, it makes things easy. People comes in
opportunity card,
Yeah, when they come in, they start looking for job. And then in 10 years' time, a few days ago, I was driving and I heard there was a news in the radio that the rate of bankruptcy now, a lot of companies are filing bankruptcy.
Yep.
It's really, really, really increasing.
Yeah.
You can imagine in the future there's going to be a lot of people looking for a job, and you have few companies. So it's encouraging if individuals or if people start saying, okay, let me go into entrepreneurs and all these things.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to give you an example, right? So I always thought, like, this is many years ago, like, I always thought about it like, why don't we have, the way you see all these donor shops, right, on the street, and you see all these, and sometimes like kiosks and stuff, right? And I'm like, sometimes I feel like eating like akara, puff, pap. Some of these are like, local Nigerian food. And I'm like, but why, like, don't we even, just a single one in Berlin I can't find.
Malam or all those things.
Yeah, I mean, because they have other, like, people, you see Turkish shops everywhere. You see, and I'm wondering, like, is there something there, like, with, why, like, there's no African, I don't know if there's a name you call those type of kiosks, right?
Yeah.
But at least where, like, you can just say,
Street
this place,
food,
you can get puff and plantain, at the off or something like this, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, is that a challenge, like, just from experience?
Yeah, because I thank you very much. It's like you're reading my mind. I have all this strategy and all this concept in mind. I started Pan Africa alone, catering and restaurant. I wanted to also do partnerships with other people. Because sometimes I also feel it. You have China box all over the place.
China box.
Yeah, you have China box all over the place. Yeah. And I know some strategic place here in Berlin where you can put box and like jollof rice they will be producing the jollof rice in the kitchen, bringing it to that place.
Do you know Suya Hot London in UK?
You understand? Yeah.
These guys.
The thing is that we have to team up, but I have to say one thing. People always think that we're doing competition with each other. We don't do competition. The market is so big. And where I have Pan Africa, I would even like 20 African restaurants to be there. And
please say it again, sir.
Yeah, I would have liked 20 African restaurants to be in Kirchhofstrasse. And somebody say, why? Are you not African? I say, why? It will give Pan Africa the opportunity, people that doesn't know Pan Africa, and if they go into the other restaurant, they say, look at Pan Africa here. I've not been here. I want to see.
Let me try that.
We have enough people, enough customers. If you have idea, come out with it. That is it with all this box. I would have liked to have something like that. Partner with people who just put box here. It's very easy to make money. Very easy.
Are you open to? So I think there are people who might be watching us right now, right? I know quite a number of people from the community that they've expressed interest and even want to do doing this kind of business, right? Like, is this something you're also looking for in terms of if someone would be like, yo, like, I'm looking to maybe we can do this together, because you're talking about partnerships now. So you're talking in terms of people who can come in together, you invest together in this business, right? That's what you're talking about, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We have to we're in 21st century. Just to make things easy, you share things,
before you know it, they say you're going alone. If you want to go, how did you say it? If you're going to go far, you go with people. If you want to go fast, you go alone or something like this, right? So
even before I went to restaurant business, I was actually having it in mind to open clubbing business.
Oh, okay.
That was what I wanted to do actually, but I never got a partner. There was I never found a partner. It was only one Cameroon guy that came to me. I was not looking for other partners. There was only one Cameroon guy that came to me and said, Pros, I would like to partner with you, but I don't have money. I said, but what do you mean by partnership if you don't have money? He said, okay, let me be working and you will not be paying me. I said, bro, that is not a partnership.
You're just working for me.
This is how I left the concept of the club and just switch to the restaurant. Okay. So I'm still very much open for partnership. Awesome. When somebody comes, there are money to make in the street. People are hungry.
Yeah.
Today, people have beautiful kitchen. They don't have time to cook. And if you give quality and very nice thing, boom, what is that?
Yeah.
You may not go shopping today for clothes and shoes, but you might have drunk something. You might have eat something.
Yeah.
I personally heard about you just now saying, is there any jollof rice in the house?
Bro, did you have to do that though?
Like, it always is. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't see that coming.
And I will even promise you that after our this thing,
I know I like
food. So I'm very much open.
Awesome. That. I'm curious, so what kind of amount are we talking about? So let's say I want to do to start this one business, this box. Let's open a jollof something in
street side
at Alexander Platt.
Like
how much are we talking about?
First of all, you can't say 200,000 or 100,000 or 50,000. Nothing. The most important thing first, you have to get a company that will build this box for you, which is all over the places. And then secondly is to go to the ordnance arm in the council in Alexander Plaza and check if there is space.
There's a space.
Because I remember there was a time I wanted to do a festival. I went there, they checked it from beginning January to December. They told me that Alexander Plaza is finished.
Fully booked.
Because it's a show.
Of course.
It's happening
that place is
day and night. You have this Kinako African Festival. You have this Christmas market. You have summer market. You have everything is fully booked. So, but that was events. But in terms of this box, I don't know how it is. So when we can say maybe we need 10 or 20,000 or 30,000. Money is not just the first. It's bringing the concept, having the kitchen where we do that production, and then the dispatching the food, It's going.
Wow.
So I just wanted to know, so because you're talking about partnerships, someone has money, it doesn't. So if we wanted to do that together now, how much would you say, just give me a rough estimate, to say, okay, this is what we would need to start, right? And as a partner, so would you say, okay, if I had 10K now, is my 10K enough to say, let's start something together in this business? Or would you be saying what we would need would be, I don't know, 20K, 25K, you know? And there are people who have this money in the community. There are people, they are looking for smart areas to disperse.
We have a lot.
So that's why I wanted to give an estimate. I mean, it might not be exact that, right? But just from your rough idea, how much would you say, okay, someone who is coming, into this, who wants to do something like this, kind of a rough idea.
Like I said, if we want to talk about rough estimate, I don't know, if we talk about 30 to 40,000 euros, which is totally rough estimate.
Is that for both of you, each person has to bring?
Can be both of us.
Okay.
The location does not matter. One, the box matters. And if you get the box, if the state is giving you permission to be in that certain position, you have to source where the electricity is going to be coming from and all these things. These are things because when I was even driving down to this place, I see some of these new locations close to if you're coming from the tunnel, all this right and left. If you're coming from the tunnel, you just get out of the corner before you get to Bayer. You see these new buildings there. There's one guy selling imbis there. Day and night, because he's alone there, and that whole street, there's no restaurant, nothing. You see people queuing. So there's always a lot to do. The money aspect is not the first thing. We should learn how to come together, write our concept, do something.
We need to talk after this podcast.
This is a call for. To be honest, I do wish, because what you were saying earlier, that there also isn't necessarily any agency, that is out there that is supporting. So it's kind of if it's about who that has this information that is able to pass it on to you, right? Or if you're able to seek mentorship, as we said. But I really do wish that we had on the community level, some way that we're able to connect ourselves and we can really harness the power. If you look at of course, again, I know we have lots of viewers, but I'm very particular about this our African community, right? Because if you look at other communities, look at this Turkish community, look at some of this, these guys, the way they work together and bring in, they team up and do before, I've seen donor shop, it's literally opposite
each other.
And you know that. What I then got to find out that it's actually the same person that owns the two.
It's like that.
And then one is like, they sell the donut like, I don't know, €3.50. The other one, they sell it €2.50.
Yeah.
Just like in the past. There's no €3 donut anymore, right? But that back then, so one is like a cheap kind of like donut. Yeah. The other one is like a bit more premium donut. But the same person owns the two of them.
It's like that.
But you won't know. So they have two different names. Yeah. These two donut shops.
Yeah.
But these people, they know how to harness,
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to say, like, and kind of like just putting this out there also, like, like to people in the community, like if there are ways, and also for you as, I think you also have quite I would say at least some influence, within this our community. Maybe we need to create a club, something, that is, and like, let's just bring people together, like, and let's see how we can support, support each other,
because it's also like it's very easy to get into government trouble if you don't have the perfect information. So maybe that's why most people are scared of going into a business.
I've seen a lot of people like that. They come saying, "Are you paying tax?" I say, why not? It's very easy. If you buy this cup for €2 and you want to sell this cup, okay, your expenditure, everything, you say, okay, I'm selling this cup for €4.50. Actually, €2.50 is for your expenditure, and also €1.50 is your profit, and then 50 cents is for the government. And then you sell it. It's registered there. 50 cents is not even yours at all. If you do that, clearly you give it to the government, because we don't have oil here. We have tax. It's a tax country. If you pay this, you're free. But by the time you take this 50 cents times 3,000 cup, you sell the government money and put it in your pocket, you're having trouble. So if you give that 50 cents to the government, I don't think you have trouble.
Okay.
You have your accountants that will do the paper stuff. You have your also you call it bookkeeper or the bookkeeper. You pay them. If in one way or the other we can come together and build that community. When people have questions and all these things, they come with we'll sort it out for them, give them information, and so it's always easy to, I'm still seeing that the market is still untapped, especially.
I would love to do that
for everybody.
I would love to do that. I think I'll try and follow up on this, and I think there are many people who are, because this goes beyond just food, right?
Yeah.
There are people in the entertainment business, people, doing running all these parties and all of this stuff.
That want to go into it fully or something.
Yeah, like those who are there already. You know what I'm saying? And there are ways to connect all of these dots. And then like in such a way that, people who are trying to also come in, tap into many of these opportunities, we're just being able to be there to like support one another, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. And I think I would love to follow up. When we create a meetup group, we'll let you know.
Who are you letting?
We'll let you guys know. Actually, while you talk, we could click up group. That group will be on click up. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Anybody that have information can also.
Awesome. I think maybe we're running out of time anyways. We probably need to wrap up.
Yeah.
One of the last things maybe I would want to ask you would be what would you say is the most successful, business that you've or contract that you've had, or do you have some best memories in terms of a job that you took that you were like, yo, the way you're smiling like this. This was good.
It's always good. Like I said, if you really know what you're doing. Cooking is my hobby. It's my profession. It's what I like doing. I have a lot of contracts that say even for some time I stopped doing a television program. I always getting a call. I got a call from Arotia ProZibin recently. I told them no, I don't want to, because doing the television program, you start in the morning in the night, but they pay me good money for that.
Really?
Yeah.
And the TV program is they will come and video you while you are cooking.
You have to go and watch some of my television program. I'm in ProZibin, Galileo. I'm in RBB, Deutsche Welle. a lot of.
But is it like so like they invite you to their kitchen?
Yeah, one of the program like Cabin Eins. It was like 4 or 5 restaurants: a German restaurant, Netherlands restaurant, African restaurant, Italian restaurant, and Indian restaurant. Yeah, it was like a 5-day program. It's called My Local, Dine Local. So it's like they will come we'll go to the Indian restaurant. Yeah, so live cooking. The cooks there will be
restaurant,
cooking
right?
at their restaurant.
Okay,
and then we're sitting there.
Okay.
And then later they bring in the food
and then
from the first food, the second food. So we'll give the comments. We'll always say, this is what you like about this food. This is this, you know, until they came to my restaurant. And when they came to my restaurant, the most stressy part was that, you know what, African kitchen is still new to this community. It's better if you want to do that, Femi, let your restaurant be full. There will be people in the restaurant. So it was really stressy day. But at the end, everything was really really cool. So there's a lot from that television program. I always get a call. We like that. Come and do this. We'll pay this.
Wow.
And sometimes I just tell them, no, I don't have time.
Okay.
So I've done a lot of exciting contracts that really, when I look back, I say, wow, you know.
Interesting.
Wow.
And so on the opposite side as well, like, have you had any, like, I don't know,
bad
experiences, or like, what you'd say, like your worst day in business?
Yeah. The first one was at the beginning. You know, at the beginning, I have to go and rent a kitchen in down Copenhagen. If you look at it, it's Berlin, but it's like really a sketch of Berlin.
Yeah.
I rented a kitchen there, which we finished the stuff, and our battery run down. And we went there with taxi. When we finished cooking, there was no taxi to come back. And the organizer of that event was like calling. Where's our food? Calling.
Wow.
Calling until they decide to order pizza for their guests.
Wow.
And 5 hours later, here we are, showing up, dada. And they asked, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And we started begging.
Wow.
You know, it was a big discussion. Later, we have to do discount. It was not his fault.
Wow.
You know, so that is one. And
did you have to refund?
Wow.
That's why you always have this contract, and there's always, of course, if something like that happens, it has to be big discount. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. And he refused to pick the food, but we just, after begging, we left everything there.
Wow.
And then the second one is that, of course, you also have some people have done big catering for some companies, and tomorrow we'll finish the catering today, and then tomorrow the company filed bankruptcy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they've not paid you.
So which means that they couldn't pay you.
It's out. These are the most important things that's supposed to be done as of that time. So
may I ask one final question? Sorry.
Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
For that rest shoes, you have something like half-leaf physician. Half-leaf is common small thing like this, like you can pay this. Like as at the beginning, I just ensured that, like, if I take a food to a party, or I go to this company, they say we're doing buffet here, and suddenly we set our stuff here on the table, and later you have scratch on this table. The company say no, it was not like that before. You have to pay. So you give such thing to have to pay, or you pour food on somebody's. So you know,
and they want to sue you.
They want to sue you. You know, so
no, that I know. Afflictions. I think so.
And also by my registration. I'm Gericht Charlottenburg, so that if somebody is also suing me from Cologne, so I will not take my time to be going to Cologne because it's registered here. They have to be coming to me. So these things are very important.
Okay. The last thing I was going to mention was, so first of all, I guess you have to register as a self-employed in terms of your visa category, right? And when you're self-employed, when you're doing like your insurances, health insurance and stuff, how does that work ideally? So you're paying it yourself. Like you have to, I don't know, you call our car and then you're sending them that money like every month, right? So in that way, so not the company is covering that. So in this case, your personal money is going.
Yeah, that is why at the beginning I said, if you want to start something, don't leave your job. At once.
Because the job will still cover those insurances,
will be paying your health insurance.
Yeah.
And then the other minor job, which is your self-employed, will be getting this thing. At a certain time now, if you want to do your tax refund, you have to present this full time and then present this one. So they have to see if that particular goal, you are more than that goal. If you put your full salary and plus the money you get in your self-employed, if it's more than, it's either you pay back to the insurance, to the physician. But then if you see that things is already going well, and then you just leave that and focus on your job. And then with the insurance, and if you are focusing on that place, they start, I repeat, they start calculating your money from what you made in your self-employed.
Okay.
So if you make, let's assume, 1 million euro in a year, so of course your insurance has to be more than 1,000 euro every month that you pay into the health insurance.
So
I'm guessing like Mr. Frank has answered like several of our questions. And maybe if you have more questions, you can pop up. We can have a part two of this, right?
So maybe we can have a part 2, right? So let's know what you guys think, right? But I think this is a very, it's been a very educative episode. I also know, like, when I also told some friends that we were doing that, they were like, so I think quite a number of people are actually looking forward to watching this. So let's know your thoughts, right? If you have some questions, also drop them, in the comments. But a very big thanks to Mr. Frank.
Thank you very much
for sharing some of your experiences, your stories. What are your final words to like our audience? Like, if just you have something short to end, like what would you tell someone out there?
Our audience, thank you very much. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Just send your question, and we'll always assist you.
And do you have some final words? So like someone who is like looking to start, like a business, how would you, like, what is the one advice you can just give, like, in terms of, closing?
Always think that if you want to do it now, do it now.
Go for it.
Go for it. Just don't waste time. Don't waste time. If you're thinking of doing it next tomorrow, and today you have the opportunity to do it, just do it. Earlier the better, please.
Interesting. So I think that's Nike. They say just do it, right?
Yeah.
Just do it.
So what does Instagram man do for like people that don't want to come directly to Onlyfacts?
I think maybe they want to ask Pan-Africa Berlin, right?
Exactly, at Pan-Africa Berlin.
Pan-Africa Berlin,
Pan-Africa Berlin,
yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much for honoring us with your time and presence. And it's great having this one today, right? Totally. We're missing Jessica, unfortunately.
And I'm sure she would have loved this topic, actually. But
that's why we have second episode.
Jessica, we can't forget you. JC Anywho, thank you guys for staying with us. We're going to be here again, same time, same channel. Until then, see you later. Stay safe. Drink water.
Mind your business.
And we'll see you the next one.
Ta-da!
Thank you.